Hey guys, so in today's video, I wanted to take the time to respond to a couple of comments from the same person that were recently left on my video titled "My Insurance Denied My Hospital Stay." So just to give a little bit of backstory, this was actually something that happened when I was going through everything where I basically went into liver failure back in March of 2024, and I had to stay in the hospital for an extended period of time. I was actually hospitalized at three separate hospitals, and this all had to do with my liver issue. I have made multiple videos kind of talking about my experience at the different hospitals and sharing with you guys how this all went. But what I wanted to do is read this person's comments, and then I will kind of respond to them and share all of the information. So this person said, "My mom is having the same issue and there is no way we are going to be able to pay for this. So were you able to successfully get out of paying?" And then the same person said, "How did the appeal go?" So I definitely appealed this with my insurance company. For those of you who don't know, the insurance that I have is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and I have this insurance coverage through my employer. um, they had basically denied my hospital stay because they said it was not medically necessary. However, obviously, if a person is in liver failure and the hospitals that they were hospitalized at previously do not have the capability to care for someone or even attempt to do some of the testing that I needed to have done, um, the two hospitals I was hospitalized at first, they had absolutely zero capability of doing the testing that I needed to have done in order to figure out the condition that I have, which is actually autoimmune hepatitis. And so it's something that I am going to have to deal with. It's basically my body, my immune system attacking my liver cells for basically no reason. So I have to be very careful with certain things, and I have to stay on top of this health condition because it could very rapidly turn back into the same thing. So I get regular blood work done. My liver enzymes are not at a level right now where I need um, immunosuppressant drugs. So currently right now I do not have to do that treatment, although like there have been a few labs in the last couple of months that have been off. Like my bilirubin has been elevated and one other liver enzyme has been elevated, and so we're watching those very closely. Like I said, I am getting regular lab work done just to keep an eye on all of those things, and I do have a follow-up visit coming up again with my liver specialist, not this week but the following week. um so it's very frustrating, but they, like I said, they had initially denied it, saying that it was not medically necessary. So when I got admitted to the hospital in Petoskey, Michigan, which was downstate, which was a bigger hospital, they were able to do the biopsy there. Like that's where I had my liver biopsy done. Um, that's where I had all of the other testing done. I had like an ultrasound of my liver done, which they could have done at the hospital that I worked at. And I believe that they actually do. I think they did a liver ultrasound before I got transferred down there, but they wanted to make sure that other things weren't going on with the surrounding organs. So down at the other hospital, I had to get other imaging done that was much more comprehensive. Like it was not just my liver, it was my pancreas, everything, like I said, that was surrounding the liver. They wanted to get a good look at that also. I then had to go down to Grand Rapids at another point to get an endoscopic ultrasound done. That was after I had been released from the hospital, just because they wanted to make sure that my bile duct didn't have any issues. I don't have a gallbladder, and I've talked about that in other videos as well. So I definitely appealed this, and I still owe them like $28,000, but they basically cut it in half. So my insurance had agreed to pay a portion of it. But I'm still fighting with the insurance company, we'll say that much, because the different specialists that had treated me while I was at that hospital have submitted reasons why I needed to have this testing done, reasons why I need to continue seeing them. My liver specialist has submitted documentation of the reasoning for, continuing to see her every few months, continuing to keep an eye on all of the numbers on a very consistent basis. Like, I'm having lab work done every month, to keep an eye on my bilirubin, my AST, my ALT, my alkaline phosphatase. And like, it is very important that we keep an eye on this so that if any of those liver enzymes become elevated again, or elevated more than they already are, because like I said, there are a couple of numbers that are elevated, but not at the level that they were when I was in the hospital. Um, so right now, like I said, we're at a point where I am okay without having the immunosuppressant medications. So we don't want to start those unless it's absolutely necessary, because it can cause other problems within the body. So we're just being very careful at this point. But like I said, I got half of that knocked off um, by insurance, but they were still saying that a lot of it was not medically necessary, which is totally untrue. And like I said, my doctors and specialists are continuing to fight. We're still appealing it. So it's kind of an ongoing process at this point. But I did want to say that I hope your mother is feeling better. Or starts to feel better soon. I know that it is a very stressful situation to find yourself in, especially if this has never happened before. I don't know the exact situation with your mother, but I know that, like, any sort of health problem that comes out of the blue like that, and you don't really know what's going on, and then insurance kind of throws a wrench into the whole mud puddle and creates more chaos when you really don't need any additional stress or chaos in your life. It's just very frustrating. So I'm hoping that if you appeal it, that your insurance company will take into consideration the situation. Like I said, the hospitals that I was at, like, the most extensive imaging that they had was MRI, and it was like very basic MRI. They couldn't do like this specialty type of testing at either of the other hospitals that I was admitted at. So, anyways, hopefully that answers your question. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please be sure to leave them. I do tend to respond to comments in video form, so if you guys are curious, why I haven't responded, like, unless it's something that I can quickly respond to in a comment, responding to your comment, then I usually make a video about it, because I feel like other people might have the same question. So it may take a little bit for me to respond to your comment, but I do always tend to respond, whether it's in video or quickly in the comments. So anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in my next one.